What's up, everybody? This is Mohammed with a Mohammed Minute. Now, the political climate in America is turning into, such a way that everybody is being segmented into smaller subsets of categories. So let's say if your grandfather was in the KKK these days, you as his grandson will be in, what is it, the 3%, 3% or whatever, the 10%, whatever those people are, those white power people. Alright, so got that out of the way. If you were a righteous person, right, meaning that if you were on the side of rebelling against the Jim Crow laws, against a lot of what America has stood for, then you would now be considered a Democrat. The dangerous thing with this is that Democrats don't have any real power in the government right now, even though their moral platform might be of a higher stature, but fortunately they don't have any power. What would make a difference is that if a lot of young Americans would, instead of going with the party that supports their ideas, you got to go with the party that does not support your ideas, because that's where you can come to a realization with people. You got to have the hard conversations, meaning that you got to put yourself in places that you would be uncomfortable under normal circumstances. But the circumstances that are arising in America is that you have a tyrannical president, you got kids that are locked up in cages right now, you have a lot of people with green cards who don't know if they'll be allowed to stay in America to work, to pay taxes, to do these things. And then you have a lot of ex-soldiers, a lot of ex-military people who have been overlooked by their government. This causes a segment of the population that is disenfranchised. Now, let's say the popular vote in America, only about 30 to 35% of people in all of America vote. So if you have a disenfranchised population, which is even 1% higher than the voting population, whose sentiment do you think will carry over for the majority of people in America? Would the common good be for the government, or would the common good be for the people? These types of questions need to be answered by you and me first. Once you start asking yourself questions that require you to put yourself in other people's shoes, you come to the realization that we're all being played. Everybody's being played. Republicans are being played against Democrats. Democrats are being played against Republicans. Black Lives Matter movement is being played against Blue Lives Matter. All of these things, you're just being played with. But true power lies in uniting all of these disenfranchised groups under one banner. This one banner is not my responsibility, but whoever comes up with this one banner will pose a serious problem with the powers that be, because as long as the population resists, the government will have somebody to answer to. The minute that the population submits its will to the powers that be, that is when the government will have their way with you. It'll become an us versus them phenomenon. So in order to prevent this, you have to realize that Trump is the president, but it's still Americans carrying out their duties that are putting kids in ICE concentration camps, that are sending people away. It's still the officers, it's still people, You know, Trump is an ideal. People are carrying out the ideal of Trump. So that is where we have to use our frontal lobes. You see, your frontal lobe has the power to unlock the universe. The problem is your instinct, your reptilian brain, you know, trumps your frontal lobe at times. You have to train your reptilian brain to shut off. You know, you have to train yourself through fasting, through cold showers, through one meal a day, through simplifying your eating habits, through simplifying your life, living below your means, you know, saying no, because the power of saying no activates your frontal lobe. So at the end of the day, you have to realize that you and me hold more power than people would like to realize. And this is why we need to speak about different issues to different people. That way, maybe your voice will be heard by the right ears eventually. Best case scenario.